How's it going, everybody? I got some more Magic for you today. Playing one more deck with the Midweek Magic. Unfortunately, by the time this is uploaded, the Midweek Magic will have already ended. But I got enough recording in time so that I'd be able to show off just a few decks. This one is going to be Mono Red Goblins. A lot of interesting goblins got added in this, whether they be reprints or new ones, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to play that archetype. Um, the most underwhelming is probably Red Cap Gutter Dweller. Was originally released, to my knowledge at least, in the, what was it, Wilds of Eldraine set, pretty sure. And I enjoyed it back when it came out as well, so this is one I actually already have a bunch of. But good for populating the board with its rats and potentially getting you card draw effect from sacrificing, especially since we do get goblins populating in as well. We've got Krinko Mob Boss, a great outlet for just that. In fact, you can tap it and create more goblins, depending on how many you have. Goblin Borders. This one is a 3-drop, 3/2 pirate. Goblin Pirate. It is a common. It has the raid ability, so if you attacked on this turn when this creature enters, it comes in with a 1/1 counter on it. So not bad. It essentially will almost always come in as a 4/3 for 3, which isn't terrible. We've got Goblin Negotiation. I don't love this card, and you could easily run it as a 2 of or so, but I figured I'd give it a run in this because we are using a little bit of burn and stuff. With this being the Midweek Magic, we only have Foundations cards, so seemed like it was worth giving a shot. It is an uncommon, 2 red and X. Goblin Negotiation deals X damage to target creature, and you create a number of 1/1 Red Goblin creature tokens equal to the excess amount of damage dealt to the creature this way. So if you pay 3 and the creature is a 1/1, you'll get 2 Goblin creature tokens. We've got Sear Slicer Goblin, which I think is probably the best Goblin released in this set, and a really, really fantastic card. I wish I had this already and may even end up crafting it for some Rakdos builds that I'm doing. But it is a 2-drop 2/1 with a raid ability. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked this turn, create a 1/1 Red Goblin creature token. And that attacking this turn does not mean that it has to have been attacked with this creature. In fact, you can play this creature after your attack step in your second main phase and still get the raid effect. So really fantastic. We've got Obliterating Bolt, not new, so people are probably pretty familiar with it. 2-drop, deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and if that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, it gets exiled. Fantastic removal for cheap. Probably my favorite card in this whole deck, and I'm so happy I get an opportunity to use it. We have Impact Tremors, a 2-drop enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. This is brutal. You can essentially just keep playing creatures or populating tokens, especially if you end up getting lucky enough to get Krinko out on the field without it dying, and pop out tons of little tokens that just ping your opponent. We've got Goblin Oriflame, 2-drop enchantment as well. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0. I don't love this one. You could potentially remove it, but since this is an aggressive deck, I figured I'd give it a shot, and so far I haven't hated it, though I did reduce how many of them I was using because I didn't love it. Dragon Fodder, 2-drop sorcery, create 2 1/1 Red Goblin creature tokens. Like I said, with Impact Tremors, that's just fantastic. 2 free damage on top of 2 free bodies. We've got a Braid for a little bit more damage and potential artifact destruction. We've got Frenzied Goblin, another Foundations Goblin, a new Goblin. I don't know if this is a reprint, but it is a 1-drop 1/1. And whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 1 red, and if you do, target creature can't block this turn. So this can actually be really good for enabling your raid abilities, since you get to attack in and pretty much guarantee that it can't be blocked, at least by 1 creature. So I have had this come into play to be very useful. And then we've got Burst Lightning, 1-drop, 2 damage. And it does get to be at any target, so it could be at a player, creature, planeswalker. And it has a kicker for 4. If the spell was kicked, it deals 4 damage instead, which is actually really nice. I'm running this as 22 lands. That may still honestly be high, but we've got some 4-drops, and I haven't had it be too much of a problem yet, but we'll see how the games go. Not really anything else to talk about here. There are some really interesting lands that you could use, but I like just running the pure red, especially for this. Keep it simple. Anyway, though, we'll go ahead and get into the games. I'm going to go for 3 wins, and like I said, this will be the last deck that I'm using for this Midweek Magic event. So after this, I'll be playing more standard decks or more Midweek Magic events next week, depending on if they're interesting or not. Alright, opponent gets to go first, which is pretty disappointing, and we don't have any amazing plays here, so I think I'm actually going to mulligan. Yeah. Well, no, since we're on draw, let's just see how it goes. We at least do have Goblin fodder for turn 2 if we want to use it. Most of what I have been seeing people playing has been cats. Looks like we have an elf. But most of what I've been seeing people playing has been cats, so I don't know how much interesting decks we're actually going to run into, but we shall see. Okay, we've got a ruby. I'm probably just going to shoot that. I like the idea of getting some goblins going. But let's pass and see what the opponent does, and then I'll probably shoot something. They're probably going to use them as mana dorks, honestly, so I should have gotten rid of them already. I think we found an obliterating bolt target at the very least. Let's go ahead and just get rid of everything they've got and make the field a lot prettier for me. Another land of War Elves. Okay. At this point, I think I'm looking at Dragon Fodder plus the Seer Slicer. Sad, but not surprising. I think I can go 3 here. This is a sorcery, so it has to be done on a main phase at the very least. One of yours, either first or second. We have stifled our opponent's mana base, which is actually pretty nice here. Got our Frenzied Goblin out. Looks like they've got some more burn. The Wasting and a Braid on a 1/1 is not terrible for us, actually. Because we are looking to hopefully get some better goblins going forward. Looks like our opponent found their 3rd land. Ooh, nice. Another Seer Slicer if it doesn't die. Okay, our opponent's just packing all the removal, all the burn. Now, it does make you pick a creature, but it doesn't make you pay, which is what it was just prompting there. Our opponents genuinely got nothing interesting going on except for burn for them, which is annoying for us, but, I mean, it's not that big a deal. At least we're getting to do some stuff. We are still getting damage in, at least. I would just like to see us get some of our other goblins to play. Krenko's pretty nice, but I imagine it'll probably get burnt. Yep. Wow, did he get all 4 of his abrades? Yeah, he really did. That's really disgusting. Let's get that out of the way. He might potentially be able to make it big enough, yep, by exiling things, but I'll be able to make it not able to block regardless of what's happening here. Him healing from it is pretty obnoxious, though. He'll be able to pump in a lot of mana to heal with it now if he decides to, but he can't block. I totally forgot about this card, but I do love this one. It's interesting to see that it got reprinted. So the opponent was looking at the potential of being able to heal for 3 there, putting him up to 6, and that's assuming he wasn't going to play anything. These 2 manas could not be used for that because it does require green, and then we were going to be hitting for... What is this sacrifice ability? You may sacrifice another creature, so it's just 1. So I probably would have sacrificed a rat, still attacked for everything, forced him not to be able to block, so pretty easy to win. Super lackluster, unfortunately. Our opponent just literally had all the burn, drew literally all of the abrades in their deck to make sure that we didn't do anything super interesting, but I mean, you can see how the flood worked, and it's not like I didn't use mine too. I had 2 abrades, an obliterating bolt, and a burst lightning, and goblin negotiations, so it is the battle of the burn, and mine just happened to be a little bit better. Anyway, we'll go on into game 2. Game 1 was pretty easy. Alright, we get to go first. No 1-drops, but I think that'll be okay. We don't have a ton of 1-drops in the deck, honestly, which is a little unfortunate. Just that there weren't very many good red or good 1-drop goblins. We do have a little guy that makes it to where target creature can't block, which I do like him quite a bit, but one set of a 4 of in the deck doesn't exactly mean that we're going to always have a 1-drop. Probably going to be starting off just with some goblin fodder. Okay, and in this case, honestly, I'm just going to get rid of this. There are a lot of other things I can do, but I hate that card, like with a burning passion, so let's just keep it going. Oh, of course he has another. Giving +1/+0 at this point wouldn't be enough to kill it if he blocked. So I probably actually don't even want to attack. So let's go with Impact Tremors. Vanishing Light on Impact Tremors, I imagine. And we ignore that. Now we can attack at least. So I think we're going to go Oriflame, attack, and then Seer Slicer. Losing Impact Tremors is a little sad. And if he gets rid of the Seer Slicer, that'll be annoying. Of course. Just gonna let it hit me, I honestly don't care. An Obliterating Bolt would be pretty fantastic right here, but I don't see it happening. No blocks on his part. We're honestly still behind the gun, despite having a pretty good board. I don't think we really gain anything from attacking here. Really need something to get rid of his Ajani, the Pride Mate. So we could do 4. Let's attack all and see what happens. Okay, because of how that went, we're gonna hit a bird. And just get some extra goblins. Vanishing Light on my other Goblin Dweller, which is a little sad. But we did manage to win, which is really nice because this deck is obnoxious. I really hate this. It's not as bad as the bat that says when it dies you get to move the counters, but this thing is obnoxious, so I was really happy to actually beat it here. Obviously we would have just played our raid creature if he had managed to survive, but we actually got a win based on the Goblin Oriflame this time. Getting that +1/+0 made a huge difference here. And yeah, I was hoping that he would block with the Ajani in some manner on that last attack, and I'd get to just blow it out. So he did the right thing by not, but even still, I was able to do the Goblin Negotiation to get some chump blockers, so worked out. Goblins, pretty fun. That's our second win consecutively, one more, and I will be wrapping up this video. Alright, opponent goes first, but we have a 1-drop for once, so let's give that a go. Could pretty easily go Frenzied Goblin into Goblin Fodder, or even an Abrade if we need to. Ooh, Impact Tremors is really nice. We'll probably do that before the Goblin Fodder now. Even if he kills it, it doesn't really matter. It's just an early creature for us. Now we really want more land than anything. Looks like they're also hurting for land, but we did draw one. Decided to stab my Frenzied Goblin. Fair, I guess. More land? No, but that is something that we can actually play off of attacking with some value. Still looking for land. Pilfer? Choose a non-land card and make me discard it. Made me get rid of Krinko. Big sad, but no big deal. Just go on for another attack. This is probably going to be a win purely on the fact that the opponent doesn't have any playable cards. Okay, got their third land. We got a Nighthawk, which I will just Abrade. Which I do love the Nighthawk. Yeah. So, easy third win. You can see Goblins can be really good. I don't know if they're better or worse playing in regular Standard. I haven't made a normal Standard deck for it yet. But in this Midweek Magic, it was pretty decent, actually. It even beat that annoying Ajani's Pride Mate in the previous match. So, I definitely recommend giving it a try. this isn't like the be-all end-all version of the deck, but the way that I play it, in my mind, even probably in Standard, is Impact Trimmers plus Populate, because lots of Goblins plus triggers every time is pretty fantastic. And I'll be honest, I just love Impact Trimmers anyway. This card is so good, so getting any opportunity to use it makes me happy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll most likely, like I said, be getting into just regular Standard decks going next week. But I wanted to take advantage of this Midweek Magic event and show off as many of the Foundations cards as I possibly could, both on my side and my opponent's side, because Standard really doesn't have people doing anything other than Duskmourn cards still. Even if they're splashing in a card or two of the new set, it's still pretty much just the same Duskmourn decks that have been really stale for the past several weeks, so this just seemed like more fun and more interesting content. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all come back again for the next decks that I put out.